There, it'll be up here. I need one of those, though. It's by. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. Never mind, I'm up here. I need this person. The title's up here. This one will leave up here. He'll never know. There's some very lovely background music here. Yes. Are we ready to begin? Okay, yes, I know you are. All right. Are we going to keep the music playing? I think I can speak around it. It's beautiful. Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Janine Craig. I'm the program director for the IECD program. We want to welcome you to this most special graduation event. This is actually one of my favorite times in working with students. Today, we will celebrate graduates from both the IECD programs as well as the Leadership for Change program. And I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce you to my colleague, Dr. Earl Thomas. Earl, if you'll stand, the program director over the Leadership for Change EDD program. So I'm going to share just a few logistics of our agenda this afternoon. Dr. Thomas and I will each share a brief introduction about our programs. We will then welcome our faculty who will be hooding students today. Each faculty member will make an introduction to the student being hooded, and for doctoral students, we'll also read their dissertation title. Fielding has a unique tradition whereby students are given a couple of minutes to share about their educational journey, so we will enjoy hearing from each of our graduates today. Graduates, congratulations. This was no easy feat for you to get here. Yes. We are so happy to be able to be here with you in person to celebrate your journey. Thank you for keeping your remarks to about 2 minutes or less. Hint, hint. We realize that that's not a long time for you to share all the things that you would like to share. And we do appreciate your consideration for those that are coming from behind you. We have kind of limited time in this room together. So at the end of the ceremony, once we're finished, we'll probably need to leave the room depending on what time it is, but we definitely want you to be able to spend time celebrating each other and spending time in community when we're done. So let me give you a quick overview, students, of what will happen when you come up here. Your faculty member will, our doctoral students, will read your dissertation title, and they will hood you. When you bring your hood to hand it to your faculty member, make sure this little tassel piece is facing you, and just hand it to them. Here. Like this. Now the faculty member, you're going to step down. And if you get it wrong, don't worry, we'll still hood you. Okay? We'll just help you with the hood and we'll figure it out. Once you're hooded, then you'll come behind the mic and you'll have a time to share whatever it is that you would like. And then you'll leave from around the podium and come over here to Lauren, who will present you with a yellow rose, which is Fielding tradition, and I love it. So thank you. All right, so let's get to this, right? Before I present our master's and doctoral IACD graduates, I'd like to offer a brief introduction to our programs. The IACD programs they are very loud next door. The IACD programs are both grounded in an integrative relationship-based model that centers development, individual differences, infant mental health or early relational health, and reflective practice and supervision. Our scholars engage in interprofessional study of the many factors influencing infant and family well-being, such as culture, policy, advocacy, neurodevelopment, biological and social emotional processes, trauma, and family systems. That's a lot. Their work strengthens evidence-informed perspectives on healthy relationships and effective intervention models across early childhood disciplines. My faculty come from diverse interprofessional and cultural language backgrounds, resulting in beautiful collaborative student-faculty work, both in the classroom as well as research. Central to the curriculum is a deep commitment to inclusive excellence, recognizing that effective support for families requires cultural humility, responsiveness, and systemic awareness. The pandemic exposed and intensified long-standing inequities related to mental health access, systemic racism, and family stress, particularly among our youngest and most vulnerable populations. As a result, infant and early childhood mental health has emerged as a critical priority across education, healthcare, and community systems. And now I would like to introduce our amazing master's program graduates. The Master's in Infant, Child, and Family Mental Health and Development equips professionals to support the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children and families in today's complex world. Designed for both clinically based and education-focused practitioners, the program integrates developmental science, mental health practice, and family systems to prepare graduates for impactful work across settings. We are proud to offer this program as fully articulated with our PhD program, meaning that master's students receive guaranteed admission into the PhD, and all courses in the master's program are transferable should the student wish to continue with their PhD. I'd like to now welcome Dr. Tiffany Cameron, our master's program lead, to introduce our master's graduate. Just read her.
All right, thank you. It is my honor to recognize Sandra Sanchez. Her master's project was understanding how integration of trauma-informed, sensory-based, and culturally responsive infant mental health practices can be used to mitigate neurodevelopmental risks created by prenatal trauma and cumulative adversity experienced by Latinx immigrant families.
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing here today, after dedicating more than 2 decades to raising my 3 daughters, is both humbling and rewarding. Returning to school was not easy, but with the love and support of my family, I am proud to stand before you and say, I did it. Today, I celebrate earning a master's degree and the journey towards my PhD. To my husband, Juan, and my 3 daughters, Alexa, Almendra, Andrea, who are here with me today, thank you for your guidance, encouragement, and unwavering belief in me. To my dad and my mom, who are watching from New Jersey, gracias a los dos, los amo mucho. I would also like to dedicate this degree to the person who attuned to me, connected with me, and helped shape the person I am today. My beloved grandpa, my Papa Beco, like I used to call him. Your love and guidance continue to live in my heart every day. And I cannot leave this stage without acknowledging my greatest mentor, my source of strength and energy, my Almighty Lord. Without him, none of this could have been possible. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2026. May God bless you.
Alrighty, and now for our IECD PhD graduates. Through Fielding's progressive curriculum, our PhD students expand their knowledge and leadership through rigorous evidence-based research. The program is intentionally designed for experienced professionals whose applied research addresses developmental challenges, informs policy, and supports families and communities. Examples of student professions in the IECD program include school and clinical psychologists, mental health therapists, allied health professionals from occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech-language pathology, educators including early childhood, health providers such as physicians and nurses, early intervention specialists, and those involved in specialized advocacy spaces such as attorneys and forensic epidemiology. Beyond students' trained profession, we are also very proud to serve those who come with a very specific cultural intention. We have both national and international students whereby their research is intended to serve specific needs of specific communities or countries they represent. Examples include students from various communities within the United States, such as the Navajo Nation, Orthodox communities, and also numbers of countries in Africa, Australia, Asia, and Europe, to name a few. It is my honor to join my faculty colleagues, and this is so emotional for me. It is my honor to join my faculty colleagues and introduce our remarkable IECD PhD graduates and recognize the impact of their scholarship, dedication, and contribution to the field. We are proud to hood them today and welcome them to our community of scholar practitioners. I'm going to introduce Dr. Tiffany Cameron to start with her PhD students that she was chair for.
All right, thank you. So first, I'd like to welcome Dr. Michelle Harris. Her dissertation was titled Exploring the Interplay Between Teacher Self-Regulation, Teacher-Child Relationship Quality, and Teacher Job Satisfaction in Early Childhood Educational Settings. Dr. Harris, welcome to the community of scholar practitioners.
Did not expect to go first in our program, but here we are. First is not something that, well, it is something that I've done often in my family, and I'll go into that in detail in a second. First, I am overwhelmed with joy and with gratitude because I know that this achievement is not mine alone, and I would like to take a moment to thank those who helped me along this journey. To my dearest parents in the room and afar, your sacrifice, love, hard work, and belief in me built a foundation upon which I stand here today. You gave me opportunities you never had, and you taught me that education is one of life's greatest gifts. Today, I have the honor of becoming the first person in our family to earn a doctorate degree. I hope that this moment reflects the life you worked so hard to make possible for me and the rest of our family. To my loving husband, thank you for loving me through every challenge, every late night, and bout of self-doubt. Your unconditional love, patience, and encouragement helped steady me through the most challenging of times. I could not have done this without you, and I am forever grateful to walk through life with you. To my incredible daughters, you have been my greatest inspiration. For every obstacle I face, every page I read, and every paper I wrote, I overcame everything for you. You were my motivation. I wanted you to see that dreams are worth chasing, that perseverance matters, and that no goal is beyond your reach. Just as my parents were my role models, I strive every day to be worthy of becoming one for you. To my professors and mentors, every one of you is the embodiment of Dr. Brad Johnson's quote, "Love what you teach, but love those you teach more." Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights with me. You not only influence my research, but also myself as an educator and as a leader. Lastly, this hood represents more than any singular effort. It represents the love, sacrifice, and support of every person, past and present, near and far, who helped shape the person I am today. I accept it with immense gratitude, and I hope to continue to honor all of you through the work I do and the life I lead. Thank you.
All right. Next, we have Dr. Maya Endenberg-Taylor. Her dissertation was titled The Roles of Black Grandmothers in Language Development, Perspectives of Gullah Geechee Women. Dr. Endenberg-Taylor, welcome to the community of scholar practitioners.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Today has been such an inspiring and amazing day. I've been patiently waiting and working diligently towards this moment. I knew that to achieve this goal, I needed to believe in myself, trust my determination, and have confidence in my abilities. I'm grateful to Fielding for providing me with the opportunity to earn an amazing PhD during my unpredictable adventures as a military spouse. I'm also deeply grateful to the faculty who have invested in me, challenged me, and encouraged me throughout this journey. In my research, one of my key findings centered on the African proverb, "It takes a village." Simply put, I could not have accomplished this without my village, my family, my friends, my kickball community, my colleagues, and faculty mentors who supported me every step of the way. Thank you all for being a part of my village and for helping me reach this milestone. And last, I want to give a special hello to my husband, who's been on an extended deployment. Hi, John. I love you and I miss you. Can't wait to celebrate with you.
All right. And next, I am going to pass this off to Dr. Craig, who will introduce our next graduate.
All right, I would like to welcome to the podium Dr. Marianne Ippolito O'Connell. Marianne's dissertation was titled Analysis of Functions of Unconventional and Conventional Gestures in Children with Autism. Welcome, Dr. Ippolito O'Connell, to the community of scholar practitioners.
My hands are shaking and I wasn't anticipating that. My goodness. It's a moment. Good afternoon. Thank you for sharing this moment with us all together. It is a pleasure being in company with you all. To begin my journey in education, it goes back to my parents. I did a dissertation on unconventional gestures in children with autism, and oftentimes growing up, I felt like I was growing up in a very unconventional setting. On the outside, I look one way. On the inside, in my inner world, is a different experience. And I know there are pretty much probably everyone here who that resonates with. My parents met later in life. My dad was a parish priest in Canada, and my mom was a missionary in La Paz, Bolivia. And they met at Loyola University in a graduate program. So when they met and they decided to leave their respective vocations, which was difficult, they were older and they really had to hit the ground running when they married. They didn't have anything saved in their mid to late 30s as they were starting their world and having their children. So my parents took turns going to graduate school. And I remember my dad's graduation. I was about 2 at the time with his master's degree. And all I recall is that it was hot. And I remember the folding chairs and looking at them from behind and feeling what I would describe now as bored. And my mother's graduation, I was about 5 maybe, and she was at the University of Chicago. So her graduation was in this beautiful chapel. It was incredibly quiet, and they called her name, and my sister and I stood on our chairs, and we screamed, "That's our mommy!" And And I still remember that pride that I felt. They are the inspirations for my understanding that life is a constant journey and you never know it all. And we're forever learning. I have, I've worked with children running the gamut from infancy through young adulthood. And I've raised children from infancy through young adulthood. And what I have learned, I've learned the most from being a mom, from Gracie, from Will, and from May. Because when the stakes are that high, because your love is so indescribable, you're motivated in ways you never knew possible to grow and to learn and to change. And they make you grow and they make you rise. I wanted to harness what I've learned and do something with it. So as my kids were starting to leave the nest, knowing I needed a great distraction from the angst in taking a step back in their lives, I found my way back to my own dreams and my own thoughts and my wishes. And I never thought I would pursue a doctoral degree, but when the time presented itself, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I searched various programs, but none of them really compared to Fielding's. I've worked with many graduates of schools I considered attending, but this one merged the academic with the practical application in a way that was absent everywhere else. So I want to thank Fielding. I want to thank Janine. I want to thank all of my professors. I want to thank my mentors, my dissertation committee, for continuing to push me to go beyond what I thought I could. I wanted to extend gratitude for my parents who modeled a curiosity, a determination, and acts of service that were foundational pillars in life. And finally, I want to share gratitude for my family, my husband, Vito, who has done nothing but cheer me on throughout this whole experience. And to my kids who inspire me and challenge me and lift me to heights that I never dreamed possible. And that this accomplishment is truly ours. So thank you. And thank you all.
Okay, next we have Dr. Julie Sanborn. Julie. Julie's dissertation was titled Centering Relationships, Exploring Early Relational Health in Pediatric Practice. Dr. Sanborn, welcome to the community of scholar practitioners.
Oh, I'm much more nervous now that I'm up here. What a wonderful experience it is being here today and getting an opportunity to see everybody in person. I came to Fielding looking for a way to better the work I do with the families that I work with, and I leave with so much more than that today. There were so many moments throughout my journey that I questioned whether I could keep going, but I learned that perseverance isn't about never struggling. It's about choosing to take the next step anyway. I realized that growth rarely happens in the moments that feel easy, but it happens when you keep showing up despite uncertainty, disappointment, and fear. Standing here today, I never imagined finishing this journey without my mom by my side. And although she isn't here today, I know her love, strength, and belief in me helped carry me to this moment. This achievement today is as much a reflection of her love as it is of me. So today, I don't just celebrate earning a PhD. I celebrate the people who lifted me when I couldn't stand on my own and the person this journey has shaped me to become. So thank you all for your support.
Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Carrie L. Smith. Carrie L's dissertation was titled Examining the Correlational Relationship Between Early Intervention Program Factors and Self-Reported Parental Self-Efficacy. Welcome, Dr. Carrie L. Smith, to the community of scholar practitioners.
Good afternoon. I would first like to just start off by thanking Dr. Craig. She has been my faculty rock since I started this journey almost 8 years ago. Your support has been, it's been undescribably beneficial in so many ways, and I thank you. People often say that earning a PhD is an individual achievement, but standing here today, I know that it takes an entire village. This hood placed on my shoulders belongs to so many people that have helped support and carry me throughout the way. I would first like to acknowledge my family and friends and colleagues that could not be here in person, especially my father, my nephews, and my niece. Even from a distance, your love, encouragement, and unwavering belief in me have always been present, and I carry each of you with me today. To those who are celebrating with me, I would like to thank you for walking beside me through every step of this journey. To my incredible children, you are my greatest motivation and my biggest accomplishment. You endured countless hours of my virtual classes and endless reminders to please be quiet, and more than a few moments when I had to turn off my camera because life with 4 children could simply not be muted. Through it all, hearing you call me Dr. Mama reminded me why I started and gave me the strength to keep going. I hope this moment shows you that no dream is too big when you lead with faith, perseverance, and hard work. To my stepfather, thank you for always stepping in and supporting our family whenever we needed you. To my boyfriend, Ryan, thank you for loving me through the mood swings, the stress, and the perpetual anxiety that came with this journey. And to my mother, Darylyn, there are not enough words to express my gratitude. Thank you for the countless hours you spent caring for our little ones, for every sacrifice you made, and for loving my children as fiercely as you love me. You gave me the greatest gift of all, the time and space to pursue my dream, and I could not have done it without you. As an occupational therapist and now a scholar in infant and early childhood development, I dedicate this achievement to every child and family that I have the privilege of serving. My hope is that my work continues to create spaces where every child is seen, valued, supported, and empowered to thrive. It's hard to believe, but the moment's finally come, and I proudly accept the title of Dr. Carrie L. Smith. Thank you.
Would like to now introduce my faculty member, Dr. Lorraine Ellers-Flint, to present her graduates.
I would like to invite Dr. Mary Gannon. Dr. Gannon's research was entitled, "The Use of Nurture and Play to Increase Mothers' Reflective Functioning and Emotional Availability Within Western New York, a Case Study."
Okay. If we are honest, one's dissertation is not likely to be world-changing, according to Dr. Costa. But it does create an opportunity to change an individual's world and the world of those who are touched by that individual. For me, my world has been forever changed, as has the world of my family and the families that I get the privilege of working with through this PhD. Over the last 3+ years, I have expanded my knowledge, my skill set, my perspectives, my experiences, my self-confidence, and definitely my resiliency. The relationships I engage in professionally and personally are rooted in curiosity and intentionality that has been incredibly meaningful and continues to be enriching. I will be forever grateful to my family and for all the individuals I worked alongside with at Fielding for believing in me, helping me to believe in myself, and helping me to shape my new world. Thank you.
And now I would like to welcome Jessica Mooney. Dr. Mooney's dissertation was entitled Regulation Before Learning, an autoethnography of one mother occupational therapist journey through school distress, homeschooling, and neurodivergence. Welcome to the community of scholar practitioners.
Need my reading glasses. I think it just hit me right now that this actually happened. I feel such deep gratitude standing before you today, achieving a dream that began almost 20 years ago. It's been a long journey for me, filled with a few starts and stops, twists and turns, and I'm really proud of myself that I didn't give up. When I look back on my journey, including the years when I stepped completely away from graduate school and clinical work to homeschool our 5 incredible boys, I'm grateful for all of it. In fact, it was those very years of homeschooling, particularly navigating home education and learning differences, that ended up becoming the foundation of my research and profoundly influenced the scholar and clinician I am today. To the faculty at Fielding, thank you for giving me this opportunity. The mentorship, relationships, and learning that I have received here far exceeded my expectations. And I leave not only with a degree, but as a better writer, clinician, and human. I want to thank my parents, Owen and Teresa Mooney, who instilled a love of learning in me and told me that I could accomplish whatever I put my mind to. I especially want to thank my husband, Chris, and our 5 boys, Colin, Carter, Everett, Finn, and Owen. This PhD was a whole family effort in so many ways, and it would not have been possible without your love and support. My name may be on this degree, but in so many ways, it belongs to all of us. Finally, to my boys, I hope that seeing your mom up here at 49 years old, realizing this dream reminds you that it's never too late to pursue your own. Embrace life as an adventure. You won't always understand the twists and turns while you're living them, but one day you may look back and realize that they were shaping you, growing you, and leading you exactly where you needed to be. Thank you.
Now I would like to call Dr. Louise Sawyer. Louise's research was entitled When Help Turns Harmful, Detransitions Women's Stories Told as a Heroine's Journey. Welcome, Dr. Sawyer, to the community of scholar practitioners.
I feel short, but you can hear me, right? Back in 2020, when the world slowed down, I started researching PhD programs. As a working professional and a mom of one, now 2 little ones, I knew I needed something online. And so naturally, as a licensed educational psychologist, I started exploring online doctoral programs in educational psychology. But something about that path felt wrong. I knew that world. I was looking for something different. See, in my work, I felt like I had hit a wall. Just scaling up the same behavioral tools and techniques wasn't going to create the lasting change that I wanted to see for children, for families, and school systems. I needed a new lens, one that would help me to understand not just what people were doing, but why. That's why I chose Fielding's Infant and Early Childhood Development Program, and it has exceeded every expectation. I was not prepared for just how much it would change my perspective in how I saw people. I look at people more deeply now through lenses of attachment theory, DIR, object relations theory, family systems. I used to conduct traditional psychoeducational evaluations. Now I conduct biopsychosocial developmental evaluations that honor the full complexity of the human experience. While adding these 3 letters to my name is an honor, for me, it was never about the prestige. I read, I researched, I learned, I grew. Not taller, I'm still. But this journey has left lasting ripples in not just how I work with my clients, but how I parent and throughout my family. That was my purpose all along. And I couldn't have chosen a better program to help me achieve it. And finally, thank you to my husband back there who is filming, and my kids. My 1-year-old is scared of me in this getup. He doesn't recognize me, but thank you to him because I could not have done this without him. Thank you.
Okay, and now I'd like to welcome Dr. Nina Newman.
I'd like to welcome Dr. Dhruti Dolakia to the stage. Yes. Dhruti's research was titled Exploring Early Childhood Educators' Understanding of Self-Awareness when Working with Young Children. Dr. Dolakia, welcome to the community of scholar practitioners.
So here we are, the day I dreamed of. I feel incredibly grateful for the people who have supported me along the way, my family, friends, mentors, shout out Dr. Robinson, and colleagues. And alongside that gratitude today, I want to thank something else. I want to thank this PhD journey. When I began, I thought I was pursuing a degree, no flex. What I didn't know was that this journey would become a companion, one that quietly walked beside me through some of the most difficult and transformative years of my life. He was there, the PhD, was there through my father's illness and his passing. This PhD was his dream. Through my mother's unexpected health challenges, through my own deeply concerning medical diagnosis that brought uncertainties in ways I've never imagined. It witnessed my children's struggles and growth and stood beside me through the closing of a business I had built with my heart. And yet, through all of it, the PhD remained. When life felt fragmented, this work became my anchor. It gave me a place to return to. It asked me to keep showing up. It reminded me that growth does not happen after uncertainty, it happens within it. This degree represents more than an academic achievement. It represents resilience, perseverance, and the quiet decision to continue again and again. So today, I thank this journey, not because it was easy. It absolutely was not. There were moments when life and the PhD seemed to compete over who could challenge me more. But because it carried me through, it helped me steady when life felt unsteady and helped me become the person standing before you now. Grateful, grounded, and finally on the other side of just one more revision. As I have heard almost all faculty members at Fielding say, the best dissertation is a done dissertation. I'm grateful to be done. Thank you.
Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Zanetta Evans. Zanetta's research is titled Searching for Answers, a qualitative descriptive study of the lived experience of African American mothers who delivered by cesarean section. Welcome to the community of scholar practitioners, Dr. Evans.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna try and get through this without getting emotional. Before I get into what I wrote, I just want to thank my beautiful mother who is in this room with me today. Thank you for all the prayers that you prayed with me, all the prayers that you prayed over me, and all the delicious meals that you cooked for me with love. To my 3 beautiful children, Jaira, Zariah, and Zaire, Mommy did it. My sisters, my brothers, my nieces and nephews, some of you are in this room, some of you are watching online. Thank you for all your support, your encouragement, and the many, many questions you asked me, when am I ever gonna be done? I'm done. To the part that I wrote, when I started at Fielding, I thought I understood what this journey would require. I expected academic rigor, long hours, longer than I really expected, but long hours, and the challenge of completing a dissertation. What I did not expect was how much it would change me as a person. Somewhere along the way, this experience stopped being just about earning a degree and became a process of learning how to trust myself, my voice, my perspective, and my ability to take up space in rooms where I once felt uncertain. There were moments of doubt, moments where the path forward felt unclear, and moments where balancing life, work, and this program felt overwhelming and I wanted to quit. But those were also the moments that shaped me the most. Fielding taught me patience in a way I had not experienced before, patience with the process, with uncertainty, and my own growth. It also taught me the importance of community, my family, my sorors. Even in a virtual model, I never felt alone in this journey. What I am most proud of today is not just finishing, but who I became in the process. More grounded, more confident, and more intentional about the kind of impact I want to leave moving forward. This experience reminded me that growth is not always linear and it is not always comfortable, but is always, always worth it. Thank you.
I would now like to invite Dr. Tiffany Cameron to complete her hoodie.
All right. And it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Tara Toland, whose dissertation was titled Ordinary Magic, Building Resilience Through Reflective Practice in Early Childhood or Early Intervention. Welcome to the community of scholar practitioners, Dr. Toland.
Okay. Whew. I used to joke with my friends and family when they'd ask me about my PhD program that I picked Fielding because its campus is in Santa Barbara. I dreamed of standing on a stage like this one day, and here I am. I want to thank my professors and the program administrators who stayed patient and positive every time I was frustrated trying to email or register for a class or attach a document. I'll never forget the day that I passed comps and Tim Yamasaki, the registrar, sent me an email full of a confetti spray. That small gesture brought me so much joy and propelled me to keep moving forward. I also want to thank my husband, as I not only leave Fielding with a degree, but also my marriage intact. And of course, my two daughters, Maggie and Veronica, my biggest blessing. I hope I have set a great example of what hard work and determination can do. A dissertation is, at its core, the telling of a story. I've always loved to read mysteries, especially. I think I made my way through every Agatha Christie novel, picturing myself one day in foggy London, a professor in a library solving mysteries. As I leave here today, I carry that same curiosity into the world toward the mystery of human development and toward the people, causes, and programs that I serve. But what I'm most proud of is having been part of a community that takes social justice seriously. As a social worker by trade, finding a place aligned with my values has meant everything to me. So I'll close the way I started with a storyteller. The author Jason Reynolds, speaking at Lesley University's commencement, put it best. What we must think about in our work, our art, writing, research, and activism is that if you really want to change the world, spread your wings, those broad wings you've been developing, and spread them as widely as possible in every direction. And remember to ask if anyone else could use a feather or two. Congratulations, fellow graduates. Let's go spread some feathers and get to work changing the world. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you, our very special IECD Masters and PhD students. You are such a gift to us. We have grown and you have stretched us individually through your journeys. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts collectively for allowing us to be partners with you on this journey. We cannot wait to hear what happens next with you. It is now my wonderful pleasure to turn this over to my colleague, Dr. Earl Thomas, who will introduce his program and his students.
Guess it's okay. All right. Good afternoon. And welcome to the 2026 hooding of the Leadership for Change graduates. And still I rise. And still I rise. And still I rise. The Leadership for Change program is about rising. In the Leadership for Change program, our students are mid-career professionals who want to change, who want to foster change in the organizations in which they serve. Our program is uniquely designed because we believe that the student is the center, and therefore they drive the research study and all of the work that they do that fits their career goals. They want to research and explore change. As our program is unique from other doctoral programs in education, the faculty do not determine what the research study will be. We solely rely on the students' practical wisdom, the theoretical foundations that they already bring to our program, and their life experiences, all tenets of adult education. So therefore, what is most important is that we honor our graduates with the hooding ceremony today. So with that, please allow me to first introduce our illustrious faculty for leadership and change. And if you would stand or wave your hand when I call your name. Dr. Lanil Henderson. Dr. Kitty Epstein. Dr. Nicola Smith. Dr. Miranda Haskey. And Dr. Jennifer Edwards. Okay, so with no further ado, I'm going to ask Dr. Nicola Smith to present her graduate who she will be hooding. Thank you.
Maram Kamal Aliwat, if you would join me. Dr. Aliwat's dissertation was on an exploration of the financial advice industry, how Form CRS and the broker-dealer grids contribute to wealth disparities. Dr. Aliwat? It is my singular pleasure to introduce Dr. Aliwat to the community of scholar practitioners and change leaders.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I'm not going to read from a piece of paper because 2 minutes or less for me is not enough to even express my gratitude to my rock, my chair, Dr. Nicola Smith, or my committee, Dr. Kitty Epstein, Dr. Lanil Henderson, and of course, Statistics for Social Sciences with Dr. Edwards. You all have been instrumental. There's not enough words or time to describe. And thank God, as I said in my FOR, I consider this my launch pad, not my finish line. So I just want to be very clear that I still need you and will look for you. And we'll look for you and love and respect you and appreciate you very much. And thank you as well, Dr. Thomas. So I'll spend a minute, if it's okay, just telling a story. Out on that beach outside, right here in Santa Barbara, many, many years ago, I sat there with my 3 sons, Amru, Waleed, and Muhammad, who are in the second row here, with this beautiful young lady, Nadine, who is my daughter-in-law. And I sat with my 3 sons many years ago I drove down to Santa Barbara. I was living in San Francisco at the time to convene for the first master's cohort here, which was in person in Santa Barbara. And I told them we would be back to this beach many times, and one day I would receive my doctorate, but we would all stipulate first that they would get their degrees first. My oldest was 11. He had many, many questions and required some detail, and he is now an engineer. Surprise, surprise. My second was 6 years old, and he was more concerned with how the critters under the sand were breathing, and he is now a physician. And my third, who was a newborn, just gave me a smile, and 21 years later, he became my dissertation technologist for this dissertation. Well, thank you, Mohammed. He's now 22. He had a birthday, and I would also like to acknowledge my oldest son because today is his birthday. I'm taking his birthday to graduate. Happy birthday, Amru. I thought, life had its, ups and downs just like everybody else. And again, my rock, my chair was in communication with me. For those of you that don't know, I consider myself at least, I have to be in like the top 20 OGs for fielding or something. I like at least the top 20 because it's been 22 years since we sat on that beach. Yeah, thank you. 2 master's degrees at fielding and a doctorate and some stuff in between. And through it all, my inspiration, I thought my children, would forget about that day, but they kept reminding me. And as I attended their many graduations, they would say, "What about you, Mom? We're going to go back to Santa Barbara." And Dr. Smith was great about reminding me almost every year that we're not writing 20 dissertations. We're writing 1 dissertation. So for the inspiration and the grounding you have all given me, Dr. Henderson, I attended all those global sessions. I mean, I don't know anybody else who's attended so many just to hear you talk sometimes. I now live in Detroit, and I secretly listen to Dr. Epstein's radio show just to hear her voice. And Dr. Edwards, just every once in a while, she'll reach out and it'll remind me what an amazing opportunity. Thank you to God and for God for bringing you into my life. I just can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Miranda Haskey will present her student.
May I present Danielle Coates. Dr. Danielle Coates' dissertation is entitled Reclamation of the Quantum Self, a Multidimensional Approach Toward Integral Transpersonal Justice.
Feel like Superwoman. Got my cape. All right. So when people ask me when or where, why did I decide to study the quantum self, They assumed that it was due to Fielding or my time at Fielding, but really it began many, many, many decades before, when I was in high school taking physics with Dr. Helen Curling. I loved physics. I mean, I saw physics in everything. But then I couldn't really connect the dots to a career in physics because I kind of thought, I want to do something more exciting, but I loved it. So when I enrolled in Fielding, I thought, okay, education is where my heart is. I want to really focus on education. And I did. But something was missing. And I wanted to go back to that quantum physics and see how I could really connect those dots. And Fielding helped me to articulate how I could do that. It was amazing. I just thought everything was in these siloed boxes, and they really weren't. Because if you think about quantum physics, it's really all about the interconnectivity. It's all about the relationships that we create and that we maintain and that we love and harness. And so today, this is quantum physics for me. Very strange to say that, right? Didn't even expect to say that today, but that's what this feels like as I got my cape on today, right? What began as a fascination with quantum physics, quantum possibilities, evolved into a way of understanding human systems, human knowing, and the capabilities we must reclaim to navigate an increasingly interconnected world. As I celebrate this milestone, I honor the ancestors and my elders who are here in spirit. Mom, these people whose lives were sacrifices, they made the sacrifices to make this journey for me possible. Trying to hold it in. The faculty, oh my gosh. Every one of you basically had a foot up my rear end to get it done. And I started in 2020, so this is 6 years later. I understand, you have a lot of students that come through, but I remember each and every one of you. And Dr. Haskey was my last class, my last professor, and you taught me intercultural communication. And at this time, I was living in China. And you made me really see how, Danielle, you can really do anything that you want. There's multiple ways of learning and multiple ways of knowing and multiple ways of growing that just really expanded once I took that lesson. So today, as I celebrate this milestone, I appreciate everyone, my son and that generation. I hope that you guys follow suit and continue. I'm so proud of you. You are all doing what you need to do to progress life forward. For this understanding and for the community that helped make this possible, I am eternally grateful. Thank you all so very much.
Okay. Dr. Jennifer Edwards will present her student.
It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Jean McRae. Her dissertation was Teacher Perceptions of Cell Phone Use in the Secondary Classroom, Benefits and Barriers. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. McRae to the community of scholar practitioners.
Hi. Thank you all for being here. Myram and I decided that these gowns need pockets. So she and I are going to design them with pockets. This is going to be, because we're practical. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, thank you all for being here today. And thank you, distinguished faculty, family, and friends. I want to thank my family, Bonnie, Keith, Dan, Hunter, and Roy. You guys supported me through this whole journey. Writing this dissertation was such a steep learning curve with seemingly endless challenges. Back in 2007, I was a high school administrator here in Santa Barbara, and a funny thing happened: cell phones. And I remember watching the kids and seeing this huge shift. Kids weren't talking with each other, they were on the phones. I started watching all of this and I started thinking, and this was long before my fielding journey. With the advent of the smartphones, I understood that I saw this impact, and I knew it would have a huge impact on schools. And because it was my lived experience every day, but to put it gently, while I understood their impact, my personal tech skills also peaked in 2007. So diving into online learning and mastering APA style seemed impossible. There were days, months, and years where formatting, citations, navigating online platforms, researching felt completely overwhelming. But as attributed to Sir Winston Churchill, that he famously said, "If you're in hell, keep going." And so I did. I kept going because Dr. Jenny Edwards, the best, steadfast in her belief in me, this little old lady with this practical idea about cell phones, and I would not be standing here today without her. So between her incredible guidance and mentorship, I gotta be your oldest mentee, I have to be, and the support of my family and friends, I found the strength to push through. And I conquered these digital mountains, and I couldn't have done it without all of you and the faculty at Fielding. Thank you very much.
Dr. Lanil Henderson will present his students.
Good afternoon. You still with us? All right, very good. Is Ian Jenkins here? Dr. Ian Jenkins? Okay, not here yet. Okay, that's all right. We'll make sure he gets recognized for the work he did. He put in good 10, 12 years at Fielding and stuck with it. And I want to celebrate him in his absence. And should I go on to my other students? Okay, good. I am so proud to introduce Dr. Carol Rhodes. Carol Denise Rhodes. You all have to know that we at Fielding, we have our own Rhodes Scholars. Dr. Rhodes's dissertation was on cultural representation and academic curricula for school and communities, addressing the problem, the presentation and interpretation of gun violence, something that's absolutely critical to all of us, particularly in the Philadelphia area where she resides. We are so pleased to have her come up, and we're going to adorn you with, not with riches, but we want to welcome you to the community of scholar, practitioner, activists.
I've been sending you to college now for 6 and 7 years. And ever since the moment you left me, I've been crying briny tears. But I thought of that old saying, sunshine comes behind the storm. So my young man, when you finish, you just bring that college home. I've been scrubbing over the wash tubs, been sweating in the fields. Sometimes I had to borrow and almost had to steal. But I held on to my patience, beat them soap suds into foam, and all the while, I kept my heart and said, he's going to bring that college home. The folks here say, you ain't going to be nothing, just fooling your time away. But I just shake my fist and tell them, wait until a future day. So my young man, when the dogwood blooms and the bees begin to hum, I'll be waiting right here to see you bring that college home. Now, don't mind these folks here talking. They ain't half as good as you. They just loves to nag and rag on good folks, but that's all they know how to do. I got plenty wood for the winter, plenty clothes to keep me warm. So you just run on back to college, and when you're finished, bring that college home. Now, I don't mean home, those buildings you should bring, and stuff like that that'll wreck them good folks' place. But bring home a Christian education and a high-tone college grace. Let the people here know that you've got them, the speeches that you make, by the spectacles you'll wear when you put upon your face. Well, don't let these people bother you. Come back home and stop and settle down and cease to roam. Be a light in your community and build a college right here at home. That poem was written in 1864. The author is unknown, but I chose to share it with you today because Dr. Haskey began the day with a prayer of ancestry. And this is an ancestral poem written, as I said, in 1864, and it helps to encapsulate the struggle that many from marginalized communities have had to endure over the decades and over the centuries. One of the things that I'm very proud of is in our family, we push education. My grandmother, my parents, my brothers and sisters, my family who's watching, my family here. And so I want to thank Fielding, thank Dr. Henderson, Dr. Haskey, Dr. Kitty, Kelly Epstein, all of whom have been so very influential in not just my education, but the education of many. Also Dr. Nicholas Smith. So they've been very instrumental in so many people's education and have pushed the fact that we can't just be comfortable with our own personal achievements, but we must bring that college home. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to call to the stage the second of the Rhodes Scholars, and that's Dr. Lisa Rhodes. Dr. Rhodes' dissertation was on enhancing cultural competence in medical and medicine communication, advocacy, racial bias, and healthcare outcomes. We are so proud to welcome you to the community of scholar, activists, and practitioners.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, we're bringing this to an end, or close to an end, but I have to say this out loud. As Dr. Henderson said, my sister, who is the eldest sister, who went first, has always been the worst act to follow. Okay? So I will simply say, I too want to thank our ancestors, those who have gone before us in our family, but I have to also thank our ancestors who are fielding ancestors who have gone on, Dr. Z and Dr. Lee Mahone. So they were very instrumental in my fielding journey as well. And for those who are here, I want to thank, of course, the uncle to everyone, Dr. Henderson. Let's start with that. Dr. Haskey, I had you for my last class as in one of my cohorts, and it was phenomenal. And you can see your influence that you had on me in my dissertation. I also, of course, Nicola, I'm sorry, I got so used to calling you Nicola. But just everyone is here. Lauren, we had my village that's with me and those who are watching at home, and my sorority sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha, my chapter, who have supported me unconditionally. But I just want to say this transformational journey would have not been the same had it not been with my sister. We represent, I guess this journey also represents perseverance, legacy, scholarship, dedication, and the last thing I want to say is one thing that's changed since my fielding journey is the fact that I no longer talk in absolutes. It really did transform how I think. And as a former software engineer, I didn't think that was possible, right? We're zeros and ones and math, and it's really changed how I think and how I look at the world. So my very last thing is, during NSO, they started my mind transforming from day one by asking me, what are you going to do with your degree? It's not something just to hang on the wall. It's an action. And so I said at the time, I'm going to be the first Black congresswoman from Pennsylvania, since we're a battleground state. And they said, wow, that's a big undertaking. I said, well, think big or go home. So I did acquiesce, and we did get our first African-American congresswoman, which is Summer Lee. Had the honor to sit on panels with she and some other very notable congresswomen. However, my journey ended up going through starting as a volunteer, and I ended up as the executive director for the Pennsylvania Democratic Party. So there's always a different path, and you never know which one, God is going to lead you down. So I just want to say thank you to my family, my friends, and my dearly loved professors here at Fielding. Oh, I'm looking right at Kitty. Kitty, I could not have done this without you either. Thank you.
I'm going to hold on to the chair as long as possible. But anyway, it's my great privilege to welcome to the stage Dr. Teresa Lavoie Reed. Dr. Reed's research fits her life experience, and that is what evidence supports the idea that the agency of music is a significant resource for spiritual healing. And she did a wonderful job under really adverse circumstances. So we welcome you to the community of scholar activists, practitioners.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am so blessed. Lord knows I'm so blessed to be here today. This educational journey has been an arduous one, but it has been one that God has allowed me to complete. I stand here, first of all, to give honor to my mother and my father, Deacon LaVoy Taylor, Deaconess Ruth Taylor. They instilled in their children the importance of love. They instilled in their children the importance of serving God. They also instilled in their children to serve. And I have been serving all of my life. I retired from the County Board of Assistance in Philadelphia, where I served as a caseworker. But it was more than caseworking for me. It was ministry, because it was an opportunity to touch lives. Some years later, the love of my life, my husband, who was the first doctor in our family, who has since passed on, but one who God has anointed with a vision that you just would not believe. He founded a drug and alcohol facility in Philadelphia where there was 2 locations, and asked me, once I retired from the County Board of Assistance, if I would join him to just touch lives, reach souls, help to heal. And that is what we did until he passed in January of 2024. So this is just a small story of what my life has been. But as I said, God has allowed me to go through this pathway. Having lost my mother, who I know she is up there cheering me along with my husband. But it has been a great journey, and being at Fielding has taught me so much. It has taught me to even dig a little bit deeper and see whatever else you can find that can help somebody, that can change somebody else's life. And that is what I intend to do. I want to take the opportunity to thank my family, my church family who are not here, but my extended family, my children who are here with me today, my sons and their ladies, wives. Also, a childhood friend who is also a Fielding graduate, and her grandson who are here to support me today. I also want to take an opportunity to thank all of my professors who have been wonderful. Through my trials, there were many times when I just didn't know whether I could make it or not. And Dr. Henderson, Kitty, hey, I'm getting tongue-tied now, Dr. Jenny encouraged me to continue to go on. And even though there was times when I thought that maybe I needed to take a leave of absence, I decided that that was not a wise thing to do because I was so afraid that I may not come back to it. But as I said, I give God the glory for allowing me this opportunity to stand before you and to thank each and every one of you for your support, your love, your encouragement. I believe there is nothing greater than love. And when you give it away, you give it to one another, then you have extended someone's life. So thank you for receiving me.
Okay, before I turn this back over to Dr. Thomas, I want to take the privilege of the microphone to recognize some folks who had a lot to do with the degrees that you've heard conferred today. One is Lauren Yunker, who is our advisor, who is so much a part of the dynamic of the success that the students have. Dr. Earl Williams, who's a Fielding alum, who lent his facilities to help with final oral reviews and for support to our, but basically Philadelphia graduates. And we really appreciate him. And particularly our program director, Dr. Earl Thomas, who stepped in at a crisis time for us and did and is doing a spectacular job. of leading and managing us. We really appreciate it. And I'm going to turn the floor back over to him.
Okay. Dr. Kitty Epstein will now present her students.
I met Earl Crawford Jr. when he was becoming a teacher. He was so good at it that by the time he had taught for just a few years, he had been elevated by the county to be in charge of the county schools. And the county schools in Alameda County have the kids that essentially everybody else has given up on. They're the kids who got sent to jail, although they don't call it jail, but that's what it is. And he became in charge of all those county schools, doing a beautiful, fantastic job, so dedicated, working so hard, day and night. And he was so good at it. And he was so good at it that he wanted to expand the kind of work he did to other people. So he began studying the field of how more African American men could become the leaders of school districts, because he discovered that in the proportion of African American men who were leading school districts was very small compared to the number of people there were in the population. It was unrepresentative. And so he began this study with other people, studying around the world, around the country, and creating a network of people who would come up with the solutions to this issue. In the midst of this process, Earl Crawford died. He had almost completed his dissertation. It was a great tragedy for all of us. And when he passed away, some of the students that he had worked with at Fielding felt he was such a remarkable person that they said, isn't there some way that he could have his doctorate awarded to him, because he'd almost finished it. And they liked him so much that they appealed to me, they appealed to other people in the administration. And Fielding, being the kind of organization that it is, was, I don't know what other organizations would do. Fielding said that seems completely reasonable. Our provost, our current provost, said that seems completely reasonable. So another manifestation of what a wonderful person he was is that something like 15 people have come here from all over California to see this degree be awarded to him posthumously through his family. And I wonder if his children are here, if they would stand up. We especially wanted his children to recognize what an important, I know they know what an important person he is, but that other people recognize it also. And please, Earl Crawford Sr., if you would come forward. Earl Crawford Sr. is the father of Earl Crawford Jr. He came with the rest of the family, and I wanted to give him the opportunity to take a couple of minutes to say some things about Earl's receiving of the doctorate. Earl.
Well, to God be the glory. I'm the proud pastor of the Praises of Zion Church, Dr. Earl Crawford Sr. Kitty and I discovered something. She's a driver, I'm telling you, since the mid-70s. And I think I just found out that she still works with Street Academy, by which bad kids went to, and I was one of those kids. And then it came along where she was able to help my son when he decided to go to school. I talked to a lot of my colleagues to make sure that he didn't go in law enforcement, because that's what I did. And I had to give credit to all of those who participated and cultivated him. It takes a village from parts we come from. Earl had ADHD. His brother had ADHD. I had ADHD. And they said he would amount to nothing. What am I gonna do, Daddy? I said, stick with Kitty. She'll beat all of that ADHD out of you. Keep him focused, and I'm so grateful to her. To his wife, Parisha, stand up. That's my daughter-in-law. Stand up, she's back here. Oh, she's right there. To my grandson, Elias Nathaniel, my granddaughters, Pearl, and the baby girl. She's a boss. They knew that their father was busy, but this was for you. He worked hard to make sure that his family didn't fall through the cracks of the average African American that lives in the Bay Area. He mastered 3 different languages. And when he got his master's in linguistics, he said, Dad, but nothing's changing. I said, all gas, no brakes, if you want change. And that's a motorcycle term. And he got at it. And when I found out what he was going to do, and I said, why that? He says, well, you're a leader, and you're an old goon, and you ain't changed yet. And I said, pursue, and he did. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see this day with him, but with all of you all here. He loved the school. He loved the faculty. He loved the staff. He loved his family. And for that, I want to express my gratitude and say congratulations to all of those that are receiving their doctorates today. And may God bless you. And whatever you do, whatever you specialize, don't be normal. Be the change that is needed in your profession. God bless you and God keep you. This is 3 of my 9 grandbabies, and all of them in the house.
I also want to mention that the nieces in the family are also here. I told you about 15 people showed up, and one of Earl's very good friends who does very similar work, Jerome Gourdine. We haven't got him to go to fielding yet, but he's back over there, and he came also from Oakland for this event, which you can tell how important it is for people. So thank you all for your concern and your understanding. I'd now like to ask Patricia Ettasy to come forward. Patricia has done a phenomenally important dissertation on the topic of educational sovereignty as relational practice, perspectives from Navajo tribally controlled schools. And as if you read her dissertation, you will discover that although there is supposed to be educational sovereignty and they're trying to implement it, it's difficult if you know the US system. So anyway, she wrote a really important dissertation, and I want to thank you and welcome you to the community of scholar practitioners as Dr. Patricia.
Yate, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here celebrating success. First, I want to say thank you to my committee, my chair, Catherine Penfold Navarro, who's not here, but Kitty served as my committee member, as Four Arrows did. Dr. Sigmund Bolos from Northern Arizona University, and Cecilia So, my student reader. I'm very grateful for the opportunity given to me by Fielding Graduate University to study a topic that I'm very, very passionate about, Dene education and tribal sovereignty. During the pandemic, I served for an interim period of time as the superintendent of schools for the Navajo Nation. I was stretched thin many a times, and that only piqued my interest in better understanding what is Dene education sovereignty. We had much pushback from public schools, asserting that they are funded by states and that they answer to the states, that they would not listen to school closures in Navajo Nation law. That piqued my interest in studying this further. And today, receiving my doctorate degree, I'm further intrigued to study this further. And I hope to find myself in places where I will be able to affect change. For my children, Petra, Rutherford, Bryce, Corey, and Paige, it is through you, it is for you that I'm here. And my parents, who are now in the spirit world, but I know who are here with me today. My father, who rejected consciously Western education when he was small. He was in a mission school, one of the first schools on Navajo Nation. And he became a practitioner to heal people in our Dene traditional ways. I'm grateful for that, as my younger siblings continue that practice today. I'm humble that my mother also went to boarding school, Shamawa Indian School. She loves education, a deep contrast to my father's experience. Between the two of them, they believe that education is a lifeline, that we are here and we should find our places amongst the Western people. We need to speak and think like them, but we are first and you can use what you learn out there to navigate the system. And I hope that I have done them proud today. To the Navajo Nation, thank you for helping fund my education and to do good, to do better for our Navajo people. From the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful to Fielding Graduate University. Ayehet and Sago. To my family, I have 4 grandchildren now. Colson, Colton, Blaine, and Elora. I hope that I am an example for you. To my siblings whose love have sustained me the past couple of years, I did this in 2 years. First, because I didn't want to have to owe so much in student loans. And to Mark, thank you for your continuing support. Thank you very much. Ayehet.
Next, I'd like to ask Veronica McMartin Navarro to come forward. Veronica has prepared a dissertation, which again is in the tradition of scholar practitioner, amazingly important topics on the wisdom and experiences of racially and ethnically diverse parents of color navigating school involvement in a Southern California high school district. Imagine paying attention to parents. Not frequently done, and she has done a beautiful job of it. Welcome to the community of scholar practitioners. Thank you.
Okay, I don't want to start crying before I even get through my speech or even start. Let me put my eyeballs on. Good afternoon, everyone. Standing here today is both humbling and a little surreal. Like many of my fellow graduates, I began this journey with a dream and a purpose. I believed education could transform lives. What I didn't realize was just how much it would transform mine. There were long nights, moments of self-doubt, and times when I wondered if I had anything left to give. But every challenge reminded me why I started. It reminded me of the students, families, and communities whose stories deserve to be heard. As a first-generation Mexican-American, family has always been my foundation. My dissertation explored the experiences of racially and ethnically diverse parents navigating school involvement. Listening to their stories reinforced what I have always believed, that every family brings strengths, wisdom, resilience, and hope. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is listen. This journey also reminded me that none of us reaches a milestone like this alone. My father passed away when I was 19 years old, but his favorite saying was, "Mediocrity not allowed." This has stayed with me throughout my life. Whenever I felt like giving up, I could almost hear him remind me to keep going. Sorry. I also carry the lessons of loved ones who helped me shape who I am. My grandfather, Papa Adolfo, taught me to think creatively and never to settle for the obvious solution. My great-grandmother, Mami Luchis, inspired the love of learning, inspired my love of learning. And my father-in-law, Papa Jose, whose wisdom, encouragement, and countless late-night conversations continue to guide me long after he is gone. Though they are no longer with us, their influence continues to guide me every day. Today, I am especially grateful that my 95-year-old grandmother is here to celebrate this moment with me. Mamá Male, estoy especialmente agradecida de tenerte aquí conmigo. Tu amor, fortaleza y sacrificios hicieron posible este momento. Tenerte aquí hoy es un regalo que guardaré en mi corazón para siempre. I am grateful to have my grandmother and my mother and my brother here today to celebrate this milestone. To my son Jose, who makes me proud every single day, and my beautiful goddaughter Mia, who is probably watching me live stream. I hope my journey serves as a reminder that it's never too late to pursue your dreams. I want you to know that learning does not have an expiration date, and that growth is lifelong, and that finishing what you start matters. Years ago, someone told me today that one day I would be standing here earning my doctorate. To my husband, Joe, thank you for believing in me on the days when I struggled to believe in myself. This doctorate may have my name on it, but it belongs to the both of us. I also want to thank my mentor and professors, Dr. Kitty Kelly Epstein. Thank you for always believing in me. Dr. Linnell Henderson, thank you for teaching me to see public policy through the lens of humanity. Today is not the end of a journey. It is the beginning of a new responsibility to continue learning, serving, advocating, and helping others discover their own potential. To my fellow graduates, congratulations. May we never stop asking questions, never stop learning, and never forget the people and communities that helped us get here. Thank you. Congratulations to the class of 2026. And here's to making a difference, one person, one family, and one community at a time. And finally, Dad, I hope I made you proud. Mediocrity was never an option. Thank you.
I'm so proud of all of our graduates. They make us all cry, everyone. For all good reasons, crying is sometimes the most appropriate thing to be doing. Our next graduate is someone who, again, is the best expression of what it means to be a scholar practitioner. This man has created a program which helps young African American men. He has created it himself. He does the work on it. He's spreading it around and he's studying it. And it's a magnificent dissertation. It's called A Critical Examination into Why Black Parents Enroll Their Sons in African-Centered Education. Mshinda Nyofu.
Barigani, everyone. A barigani is a Swahili word that means, what's the news? And the response is, in Jama, good news. And guess what the good news is? We did it. That's the good news. And as everyone has said here, and I'm sure everyone can understand, achieving this level of expertise cannot be done individually. It is not done alone. We have many people that have walked this journey with us. And what I like to do is just share some of the people, so many people over my decade journey here with Fielding Graduate University. But let me do the best that I can in the time that I've been allowed it. So I want to introduce some of my family, and I want to start with, and again, the academic, the emotional, the psychological support that they've given, right? It's indispensable to all of us, right? And so I want to just share with you, my mother is here, Mrs. Dolores Grigsby. You can just wave your hand, Mom, if you can't stand. Oh, here she is standing right here from New Jersey. My mother, I can tell you, has been my greatest champion every day. I live in Houston area. My mother's in New Jersey. I will call her every day, every other day. And I know she's going to ask me, how you doing on the dissertation? How's it coming? How's it coming? So she was a constant reinforcement and a reminder. Also want to say, Asante Sana, thank you very much to my dad, James Grigsby. He's risen in radiance with the ancestors and now sits along with the ancestors and the doers of good in the heavens. He just made his transition in this past March. And my father was a quiet champion and a source of strength for me, James R. Grigsby. And so may the joy that he brought and the good that he left in this world last forever. Hotep. Taraja, my daughter is here. My daughter here, Taraja and Yofu, and Pearson. And she's an educator herself. And I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you, Taraja, and her husband, Tyler, and now my 1-year-old grandson, who now I leave a legacy for and continue the work. Because as you heard Kitty say, my work is dealing with young men and African-American boys. And so he has a good grandfather that's going to help him along. Also, my brother Keith, who's in the Baltimore area. Thank you so much, brother, for being a brother. And, that fraternal brother that can tell you what's going on and just give you that support as well. My cousin Rob is here, who is here in Santa Barbara. He's here. Thank you so much, Rob, for your support. He's representing our Jameson Family Union from the Philadelphia area, the DMV area, the Savannah, Georgia area. If you're looking online on live stream, thank you so much for everyone. If you've given me an encouraging word or just you can do it, keep pushing, don't stop. All of that, I'm telling you, all of that matters. The emotional support, the psychological support, certainly the academic support, it all matters. You cannot do it without it, okay? Also, just to share a few more, my Aunt Sanamia, I know you're watching Aunt Sanamia, so thank you so much. And to my Aunt Barbara Jeans. And we get donations too from our family, right? So when we do something this high magnitude, they give you donations, right? To keep going, right? As a show of gratitude and love, right? And so I told my aunt, yes, I welcome all donations. Sante Sana, thank you very much. And so let me say to my organizational family, the African American Cultural Center, US, and our chair, Saber Dr. Malana Karinga in Los Angeles, and his wife, Saber Tia Moyo Karinga. I mean, Dr. Karinga has been my mentor, my teacher for over 30 years in teaching me and grounding me in Kawaida philosophy, an African-centered philosophy. And this is the philosophy that I use with my program, with our program, Kawaida Rites of Passage. And so I can't say enough to what Dr. Karinga means to me and continues to strengthen me and continues to guide me and instruct me in terms of how to use this program to impact the lives of our young men and boys. And I also want to just say posthumously to a good friend of mine, Robert Tambuzzi, Nana Robert Tambuzzi, who I first started doing this program in 1997 in San Diego. And we put this program in over 20 schools in San Diego area, working with over 500 young boys. And so that was just, that was my first entree into it. But also giving a knowledge to my brother, Talibu Jadi, Saber Talibu Jadi here in Los Angeles, because it was an inspiration. His inspiration to me was that he put the program, the Kawaida Rites of Passage program, in over 22 churches in the Los Angeles area. So Kawaida, this philosophy, it's the ongoing synthesis of the best of African sensibilities, thought and practice, and constant exchange with the world. And so this is what we use. Many of you have heard of, you might not have heard of Kawaida, but you know it because you know the African-American holiday Kwanzaa. And many of you know the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles. So this is the philosophy that we use to undergird our program and to teach our young boys respect for manhood, character development, and socialization from an African-centered point of view. Very important, particularly, as you can imagine, extremely important in the times that we're living in, where I live in Texas, and I'm in Houston, and many of you probably have just saw what Texas State Board of Education has done in terms of trying to curtail and remove issues of the Holocaust of African enslavement or teaching about the civil rights movement, the Black freedom movement. Well, they can try to do that all they want, but this is why we have independent schools. This is why we have rites of passage programs. This is why we have Saturday schools, right? So we don't let someone take our history or erase our history, right? We go forward, we take the initiative to do that. So this is what we're about here as scholar practitioners. And then just to end, I know I'm probably over 2 minutes, but to end, again, I have Sister Hassani here from the Cultural Center, Sister Jimfunza. Santi, so much. Thank you very much for coming up from Los Angeles. Kitty Epstein, she's a driver. She stayed with me the whole 10 years. Asante Sana, thank you so much. She didn't give up on me because I didn't give up on myself. And I'll tell you that the easiest part for me was maybe the courses, but it was the writing. The dissertation writing is a challenge. And so all of them are, and certainly 4 Arrows and Jennifer. Is Jenny here? I just saw Jenny here, right? Oh, Jenny, just not too long ago, we 3 hours, Jenny, writing, just helping me revise. I mean, just in one setting. So it's just so much writing. But guess what? You don't know that you can do it until what? You do it. And so it's done. And so 4 Arrows, Bernardo Paul, Mark Gordon, and Veronica, who just preceded me. Thank you so much, Veronica. Earl Crawford's family, we too share in your loss because Earl was going to be, he agreed to be my student reader before he transitioned. And so we were all shocked. And so just want to say we share in your loss. And then again, to all the fielding staff, Lauren, I met Lauren today. And, Bridget, I hadn't seen her before, but I mean, all the work that they do, don't forget the financial aid people either, right? And so, I mean, it's just so many people. And if I have forgotten you, I'm short on time, but believe me, I appreciate all that you've done for me. And again, this is a collaboration. And so I can't forget my sweetie, Teresa, who's watching. And so I'll be home soon. And I'll leave you with this then. This is what we say in Kawaida that Dr. Kringa has told us so numerous times, that this is what we tell our young boys and young men. This is our duty, to know our past and honor it, to engage our present and improve it, and to imagine a whole new future and to forge it in the most effective, in the most ethical, effective, and expansive ways. Asante Sana. Thank you very much.
Okay, the last of my students is not here. She was here this morning. She's a wonderful student who did a teacher action study analyzing the importance of family and cultural values to guide student-defined success. She's a Navajo student, and she also takes care of her 3 sisters and works a full-time job, and completed a dissertation at Fielding and had to go home because that's required of all the things that she has to do in her life. So I want to give appreciation to her again as another example of somebody who's doing everything, which a lot of you are doing, and still doing wonderful work on your dissertations and in your communities. Thank you.
On behalf of both of our programs, IECD, ALC, we're so honored that you could all be here with us today. We know this was a monumental task, taking a lot of time, a lot of energy, and we are eternally grateful again for you choosing Fielding Graduate University. From the bottom of my heart, our hearts, thank you so much. And I do have another faculty member here that I didn't introduce because she didn't have a studenthooding. So Dr. Tia Walton Walker, while you're taking pictures of me, will you stand up, please? So Tia did not come up, but she is it's so important to our program.
And on behalf of the Leadership for Change faculty, staff, thank you so much for attending our hooding ceremony. Thank you, Lauren, for passing out the roses. And also, we would like to, as the Leadership for Change faculty and staff, to invite you to have an opportunity to meet Earl Crawford's family. We will be meeting over in the VIP room after this ceremony ends. And so if you would like to come over to say hello to him, to the family, and to wish them well, we would appreciate that. So thank you so much for attending. And I think one more thing.
IECD students, graduates, you're not students anymore. What am I saying? IECD graduates, if you'll meet us over here afterwards as well for a second.
Okay. And so we'll meet over in the VIP. It's down the hall and to the left. Over, you'll see it. Just keep going. It says VIP. If not, you'll see one of us standing out there. Okay.
Thank you. We did it. We did it. Together, we hold each other together.